Okay, today we're going to be discussing status. I'm Moshe Ismail. I'm with NuMoorish International Common Law Council Science and Development Group. And we're going to be discussing status today because we have some issues about people that have court proceedings that they don't even get a chance right off the bat. So we're going to explain why you don't get a chance and why there's a popular phrase called they do what they want. Okay, and it has to do with status. Status is a key thing in law. So the status of the people here will be the first, which is number one, under status in law, will be the actual nationals. So the nationals are the first on the status. Then, and the nationals include all natural-born people of this land. The natural people of this land, these people, some kind of way, have lost their identity. So in law, they can't proclaim the top ranking dog because for the fact that they haven't identified with law who they are. They have not proclaimed their status. There's nothing rebutting their presumption of your status, which is we'll get into later, or anything like that. Second, and this will fall under judges, attorneys, governors, foreign nationals. Okay. This is not working. Okay. So we have foreign nationals. And the foreign nationals are like judges, like I said before, governors, presidents, stuff like that, that are not the natural people of the land. They have foreign national status. Okay, the third is going to be non-residential aliens. These non-residential aliens are people who come up here on visas or temporary passes to come here and make work, get money, and go back home and live really great while we continue to suffer. Okay, they are called foreign or non-residential aliens. Four, we actually have residential aliens. Fifth, we have citizen. And sixth, we have what we're known to be in the courtroom, which is the 14th Amendment corporation. So, put 14th Amendment corporation. You might not be able to see it really well today, but so out of these 6 statuses that we have, when you walk into the courtroom, you are identified. Status has a secret name. It's got a secret word it goes by. And that secret word the status goes by is your name. Name itself is another word for status. For in your name or your title, your status will show. So if you have a European title, a European status, then that means that you are a 14th Amendment corporation person, which means you have no standing at law whatsoever. And no matter how much you fight, no matter how much you try, you cannot come up out of the jurisdiction that they have over you. And I'm gonna say that the natural people of this land are the nationals. But because they have abandoned their posts for riches, for sex, for dope, for everything that the Inquisition trained us, we have sought and forsaked our own for these so-called benefits, as the brothers did, as Jacob did, as the Red Pottage, and everybody knows the story about selling birthrights and things like that. So the problem is that when we're saying our name, when they call our name in the courtroom, it gives them our status. So if it's not El Bay Ali, any Swahili, anything that connects you with this ranking, national status, then the foreign nationals, which are judges, will have dominion over you because they have placed you they've called you out of your name. They've placed you under them. So therefore, you can never get out of their jurisdiction that way by using the name John Smith, Henry, Chris, Mobley, Wilmore. All of these things are maybe French. You can say Russian. All of it's European. And when being a sovereign power. See, many conscious Moorish Americans are extremely adept, and they have, education and stuff in different areas of nationality and birthrights. But the sovereign power, which is the birthright of Moorish Americans, etc., this is the vital status and the jurisdiction issues where rights of the Moorish Americans have been and still being unconstitutionally abridged by others who abuse government through pseudo government's positions and offices that we allow. We are electing these people, so-called electing these people, into office. There is no proper jurisdiction or venue. I'm just going to briefly touch on this. It says that the United States Code of Laws, United States of General Permanent Character, enforced January 3rd. This is 1935, 1934 edition. It says that Library of Congress copyright, which is revealed at law the conditions of intercourse between the indigenous Moors and the occupational European nations, which are here, who we allowed here. So we, the people, in order to form a more perfect union, established the Constitution for them to be here lawfully. Okay? And so there's evidence of this at the United States or House of Congress copyright certificate, which is clock of destiny. And those credentials are registration number AA222141, Class A, and that number refers to the Code of Laws of the United States of America of General and Permanent Character, enforced January 3rd, 1935. And it describes foreign relations and intercourses and consular courts and judicial authority generally. And we're going to be touching into this a little bit later on. I just want to finish up this brief meeting here with the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. I don't know if people read these. We have people getting benefits from the United States, such as Section 8, child support, food stamps, things like that, when these things are already guaranteed to you already as a national. These things are already guaranteed, so you don't have to become a 14th Amendment. You don't have to stay in that status, the lowest status possible in the world. You don't have to stay in that status. There's protection for you when you do step out of that status. And this protection, it's more than this, but this is one of the main ones, which is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And I'm just going to read a couple of articles under it. I'll start with Article 4. It says, no one shall be held in slavery or servitude, whether it's voluntary or involuntary. Slavery and the slave trade shall be prohibited in all their forms. Okay, and the brothers, we can at our homes go forever talking about that. Okay, so everyone has the right to recognition everywhere as a person before the law. Okay, all are equal before the law and entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the law. All are entitled to equal protection against any discrimination in violation of this declaration and against any incitement to such discrimination. It says that no one shall be subjected to arbitrary arrest, detention, or exile. No one shall be held guilty of a penal offense on account of any act or omission which did not constitute a penal offense under national or international law at the time when it was committed. Okay, so Article 17, it says everyone has the right to own property alone as well as in association with other ones. It says no one shall be arbitrarily deprived of his property. Everyone has the right to freedom of thought, consciousness, and religion, and the right includes freedom to change his religion or belief, and freedom, either alone or in a community with others, in public or private, to manifest his religion or belief in teaching, practice, worship, and observance. Everyone has the right to freedom of peace, assembly, and association. Everyone has the right to equal access to public service in this country. And this is going to really do. Everyone has, this is Article 25. Okay, for the ones that's having financial situations, everyone has the right to a standard of living adequate for the health and well-being of himself and his family, including food, clothing, housing, and medical care, and necessary social services, and the right to secure in the event of unemployment, sickness, disability, or widowhood, old age, or other lack of livelihood in circumstances beyond his control. It says mother and childhood are entitled to special care and assistance. All children, whether born in or out of wedlock, shall enjoy the same social protection. It says that parents have a prior right to choose the kind of education that shall be given to their children. It says that everyone has the right to freely to participate in the cultural life of the community, to enjoy the arts and share the scientific advancements and its benefits. And I'm going to stop right there because next week it's going to get real deep. We're going to meet back Thursday. It's going to get real deep on some of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and how it works for you, what you have to do to get in a position to actually benefit from an American standpoint instead of a U.S. citizen standpoint. Before I leave, I'd like to recite a small section of the Constitution which says that all debts contracted and engagements entered into before the adoption of this Constitution shall be as valid against the United States under this Constitution as under the Confederation. So all debt, before and after, is still owed. And this is the point where we have to stop because it's going to get into next week's lesson. And I just want to address the fact that the brothers that's going to court that are actually standing there challenging jurisdiction and doing these things, I give you thumbs up for that. But at the same time, every judge or magistrate in every courtroom has jurisdiction over the crime. So if you're not the sole owner of a vessel, if you're not in your proper person, when you're in your proper person, it's not just saying you're in propria personis juris, it's acting with it. It's actually showing it through paperwork, through filing, through processes that actually allow them to know of your adeptness or of your nobility or of this notice of who you are, status change. And so without that, we can do anything. Next week, we're going to be talking about United Nations complaint forms, success stories that's listed on the United Nations website. We're going to be talking about how to remove your cases from normal civil, municipal, judicial, county, and state courts. We're going to talk about how to remove our issues from there to the federal court where status is considered, where status rules the courtroom, whether it's going to be operating in a commercial or in a common law capacity. So at this point, I'd like to say Islam, and I'll see you next week.